most expensive, component in a travel. Even today they are. There were few people here and there who came on board. Even the college, the AMS college was always there. The students,
No, one sec, Deepak. Here I'm curious. How did the Prime Minister get into this whole game plan of yours? Was it
okay,
because you
so
are the NCC
I think I,
cadet?
I think I should have told this. 1988, when I went on an All India cycling expedition, I was
Ah,
introduced to Mr.
okay,
Gandhi
okay.
through a reliable source, and something that I really don't want to miss out saying this is when I met him, it was through a proper protocol. That was in 1988 as an NCC cadet and cycling, and my name was listed on the roster before the security could clear me in. And in those days, I'm not sure how it works now, but in those days, Mr. Gandhi used to have the daily darshans. So
Mm-hmm.
people could go and like put up a grievance, or I mean, it could be anything. I mean, he used to listen, and those 2 or 3 minutes are one of the most beautiful moments that I still cherish with Mr. Gandhi. So 1989, it so happened that okay, I want to do round the world cycling. So I go to Delhi, and unfortunately, the known source was not there; it was already inside. And in those days, there was no mobile phone, and there was no way that you would reach this guy inside. So I was waiting for an opportunity to walk in, and then I could see a football team from Calcutta, who had in the roster एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः. I was number 9, 10. So उनके साथ में घुस गया अंदर. So and then as I went in, I separated from that crowd, and if people have been to these kind of versions, you'll know what I'm trying to say. So we are all standing like next to each other. So
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gandhi is coming in from one side of the lawn, and he comes, meets people. Then there is a photo opportunity, and then he moves on to the next group, and so he was there. He met the football club team. They all had a picture, and I moved away. And immediately the security came and said, like, aren't you with them? I said, nahi bhaiya, main alag hu. Then he came. I was with another boy called Nagraj, who was from TCS, who was also trying to cycle around the world. So we both had team up and got into this lawn. And when Mr. Gandhi came this side, and the first thing, Rashmi, and these words are embedded in my mind. And it's nice that you asked this question. Otherwise, I would have literally forgotten this beautiful piece. Yes, Mr. Kamat, how can we help you this time?
Oh, wow. He
I'm
remembered.
not rostered. I'm not rostered. Remember, I sneaked into the lawn. I'm staying away from the, and there's no introduction at all that I've done to him. He comes, puts his hand around mine, and even in the picture, you could see that I'm hugging to him. I mean, I hope people, that photo has been shared on my platform, on websites, on social media. I'm actually hugging to him. That's because, like when he hugged me, the cameraman was late by a fraction of a second, by which time Mr. Gandhi had put his hands down and the picture was taken. So yeah, that was a very beautiful few minutes. I mean, this time it was more than about 5 to 8 minutes that I spent some time explaining to him the rigorous map that I had, saying that like yahan se yahan, from here to here, here, and then he connected me to the top brass of Air India. I think it was Mr. Yogeshwar, who was the CEO or managing director of Air India. And then like it was a top-down guidance, and the formal letter of sponsorship came in. But what I didn't realize was the amount of uh, the planning that is required for a cross-border travel that went completely unnoticed, and with a lot of pomp and fanfare around the ramparts of Vidhan Sauda. Those days, Vidhan Sauda, you could go and knock on the doors of any place. Like now it is out of bounds. We can't even go near the first step. In those days, like we used to jump and play around. I mean, I'm talking about 88, 89, where security was not that big a challenge. I mean, it was there, but with little permissions, we could still get away with a lot of things. And hence, like I still believe that those years were the best years for anybody to have traveled. Today, we are so gung ho about security. There's so much of things that we should not be doing rather than we should be doing. I mean, like the don'ts have overtaken the do's. Yeah. So yeah, 1989, we got a flag off. When I say we had Nagaraj with me, we got a flag off from the ramparts of Vidhan Soda, and we cycled to Goa, Pune, and to Bombay. And from Bombay, we flew to Kenya. That was the first destination. And then we thought we'll cycle through Sudan and into Egypt, and then hop across into Europe and then proceed. So the
You were
minute
what, 18, 19? How
I was,
old were you?
I guess 18 or 19, yeah, around that age. 19, yes, I was 19, yeah. Landed in Kenya,